Hello there, how you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you're watching me from. My name is Carol Owoyele. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Talk with Carol. If you are a subscriber here and you're returning to watch this video, I say thank you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for appreciating what I do, because you have to appreciate it before you'll be motivated to subscribe, right? And if this is your first time of being here, I say welcome, welcome. I hope that by the end of this video, you will find more than one reasons to subscribe and join our small community here of smart real estate investors. So with no further ado, I'm just going to jump right in and get to the reason why we are here, why I'm here, and having this episode, that why you are here, eager to see the episode. I believe you are eager to see the episode because of the subject matter. Wow, there has been so much tension, so much anxiety in recent weeks over this coastal road, and the reason is obvious, because the location we were expecting that it was going to be, the place that has been mapped out already that it was going to be, government changed plans, and now the coastal road is being constructed in a different location that now affects a lot of developers and a lot of properties and a lot of investors, so hence the tension and hence the anxiety, and I understand, and that's why this video is I had to bring this video. It became very necessary because too many people, I thought this was something I was going to be able to deal with privately, just address individual based on their questions, but then the questions are coming very, very often from different people, and I do have a lot of clients in some of the properties that have been affected by this construction, so it has become very, very necessary for me to address this. And my whole brand has been built around transparency. I will always try to say the truth as much as possible, and I will always try to be open as much as possible. I'm one of the very few people, if not the only person, that is still following up with Beachfront in these streets, and the last one I did has been a while back, and the reason you've not seen further updates is simply because there's nothing to report. There has to be something to report for me to report it. But now that there's a new development affecting this property, now an update is necessary. So the coastal road, let me show you. Yes, that is the coastal road, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you a lot about this construction, and in the process answer a lot of the questions that you have. Now, before I get to the construction and show you the images that we have and the details that I have, I would like to address a few things. The first one is this conspiracy theory that seems to be, that seems to now be common among investors, especially those living abroad, and especially those who are not Yorubas. Some of you now believe that there's a conspiracy by the government to chase out a particular tribe from the states and all that. I don't think any single government can do that. That's the truth. And as it relates to land, we are a very sentimental people. I understand that. So when we seek demolition of properties, and we see people that have lost hard-earned money, we tend to become immediately sympathetic and then start to blame the government. Trust me, the government will not bring down any building that has the right to be there, except it has to, like in this coastal road situation where it has to provide, they have to provide this massive road for the betterment of everybody, and I will get to some of the speculations that I have of why the location of the road was moved. But I want to quickly say first that there is no conspiracy going on. The houses that they've demolished in Lagos, that were not demolished because government had to provide some kind of infrastructure for the people or some kind of amenities for the people, you'll be rest assured that except they were built on a drainage system now affecting millions of people, governments will not just go and bring down properties, even properties that were built in areas where they are not supposed to build. If it is something that it is possible for the government, trust me, government like money. They like to see opportunity that will allow them make money. So what government will require for is for you to come and ratify the, the land where your the property is sitting on, or come and regularize it, whichever the right term at this moment. That's what government will ask for, and you pay the government. So government is not always in a hurry to break down properties, except they have to. So when you see these videos, you are not here and you just run with the little information you see. They are vandalizing properties. They keep doing it. They keep doing it. In every country, wherever you live, there are laws for lands, and there are laws for acquiring lands. There are laws for building. Wherever you are around the world. So Lagos too has its laws. The problem with our people is that we've become so used to this bribing and thinking that nothing will happen at the end of the day. So we are used to shortcuts. So we just take shortcuts and then we just move forward. We're forgetting that this thing can come up in the future and bite us in the ass. And that person that we are paying that money to, or that shortcut we are taking, that person will not be there when the problem now comes, and then you start blaming the government, you start blaming your village people. So there's no conspiracy whatsoever. And now, that leads me now to this coastal road. This coastal road, and I'm going to show you, I took a drone there, and I'm going to show you the reason, my own speculation. It's not written anywhere and it was not said anywhere. But my speculation after visiting that area, the reason the government moved that land, I believe, is because of they are trying to avoid demolishing properties. I'll show you the houses, the number of houses on that road, everything in their hundreds would have had to go down for that road, for that place that place that was mapped already to be used. All those houses, everything would have had to go down, and it would have cost the government too much money because it's a community. They would have had to completely eliminate that community for that project to stand, because there is this large expanse of land required to do the project, and then after doing the project you still have to have some setbacks because it's a major road. Houses cannot be so close to the major road, so there's still going to be some setback before you cannot have houses. So all those houses would have had to be taken down. When I got to that location a few days ago, I understood completely. This was what came to mind because I could see it. The houses were much. Government would have had to pay a whole lot of money, running in billions, and some people would have taken advantage of that to defraud the government, to steal money for themselves. This thing would have gone on for years, just trying to settle these people. I feel that the trouble would have been too much for the government, and the expenses would have been too much, and the people affected would have been too much. That's why this project was shifted. And because at the back there was so much land that they could use that didn't have any properties on them, it was just this empty large. Of course now a lot of developers own some of them, but there are no houses, so it's easier to compensate those people than to compensate the people that they will have to demolish their houses. That's just my own speculation. So after saying that, let's get to the video itself. I'll do some voiceover over the footage and then explain everything to you. So this is the ongoing coastal road construction. On the day we were filming, these workers were on site, so you see all the trucks there. Now look at the number of these houses, and it goes down, it goes down. Look at the number of these houses. They would have all had to be demolished if they were to use this old road, this old path they created before. If they were to use that proposed road, they would have had to take down all the houses. none would have remained standing. And can you imagine how long that would have dragged on to compensate everybody? Now let's pause here. Let me quickly explain this. You see this road I'm pointing at now. This road is Eleko Beach Road, where we have Amen Estate Phase 1, Phase 2. Formerly, we'll just, when we are going to Beachfront, Queen's Garden, and the rest, we'll just get to this roundabout, then turn right. This road, this was the path that was created for the coastal road before, you know, but and then this left goes to Dangote refinery, but now they moved it behind to this one that, that we've been looking at, this one that I'm showing you where they are doing the construction now. So the road continues. It's a very long road, and honestly, they've made a whole lot of progress. We wanted to see the place that they've gotten to. We wanted to see it, and we could not. It was far. It was far than where they've gotten to. So we traced it, and then we went to that exact place where they've gotten to and capture it again from that place, just to show you where they've gotten to. And honestly, where they've gotten to now, yes, this is it. This is where they've gotten to now. And from this place to Queen's Garden, it's like 2 minutes drive. It wasn't far at all. It wasn't that close, but it wasn't far at all. Maybe 2 minutes, at most 3 minutes. I doubt it was up to 3 minutes, but at most 3 minutes drive from this place to Queen's Garden. So they are very close to Queen's Garden already. And when you get to Queen's Garden, the mapping is there already. They've not gotten to Beachfront Phase 1, but this part, they've created it up all the way up to Beachfront Phase 2 and a little further. But they've not gotten to Beachfront Phase 1 yet. And I'm still going to show you that. We're going to visit each of these sites and show you that. So we're going to leave this here now, and then let's take you to Queen's Garden. Yes, Queen's Garden, Ibeju Lekki, for those of you who invested there. So here we are at Queen's Garden Estates, Ibeju Lekki. So this, you see it, this is the part. This is the part. You see it better soon. You see the long parts. You see it. So it's not far from the gate at all. It's not far from the gate. The plots affected, the land affected is not far from the gates. It's very close to the gates. And of course, they are going to have some setback to the right and to the left. So that will be more space again taken, you know. Yes, so this is it. And we are inside Queen's Garden. So we'll go to Beachfront. Yes, this is Beachfront Phase 2. Beachfront Phase 2, same thing, same thing. This is it. This is the pathway here for the construction. This is it. So this is the map here. See it? So same thing, same. I would imagine that it's the same amount of plots that will be affected across all the three estates. See, this is our lovely beach. Hello there, so Carol Woyele here. So I have a drone above, but still I want to show you something, okay? Close to the ground. I'm inside Beachfront Phase 2, and there's a drone above recording it, but let me show you something. So the much talked about coastal road, the mapping. Now look at, I want to show you how close it is, what we are looking at. that is the entrance gate for Beachfront Phase 2, and the road mapping, this is it. So you're wondering the plot we are losing here, so just look at the space. But then what this also means is that the setback at the front, these gates can be moved. I don't know the plans of the company yet, what they will do eventually once this coastal road has been done, but it will simply mean that Landmark will have some plots at the front while there's a road in the middle, and then we'll have land continue. And what applies to this place is what will apply to Queen's Garden, which is the estate before this one on our way from Lekki, and then also to Beachfront Phase 1, which we'll go to from here just to also get an update of the place. All right. So finally, this is Beachfront Phase 1. Yes, this is Beachfront Phase 1. And like I said, that road mapping has not gotten here, but they are close. We did see them still mapping and coming towards this way. So we all know that it's a coastal road, so it's definitely going to pass through Beachfront Phase 1. It's going to maintain it and continues like that all the way to Calabar. So you notice that we have a building there. I'll zoom in now, you see it properly, you see it. So definitely this building, I don't think is going to stand. It's going to be brought down, very, very likely. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Is that the right word? Enjoyed that. Anyway, if everything wasn't clear to you before, with that video, my intention was to make it very clear, make it very transparent. Even though you might not be on ground, make you clearly understand how things are. So I hope I achieved that with that clip. So what do we know? What don't we know? But before I comment on that, I want to quickly say that when you're thinking about this matter that affects Queen's Garden and the Beachfront series, please keep in mind that this is no one's fault. This is not the fault of the developer. This is not the fault. This is not even the fault of the government, and this is not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't start second guessing yourself that maybe you shouldn't have invested. Oh, this has happened. No. When it comes to buying land in anywhere you are, especially in Nigeria, sometimes there are issues, and when there are issues, we'll find solutions. You understand? This is no one's fault, as I've said. In fact, the fact that this project has been delayed has now turned into an advantage for the developer, for the investors. The reason being that, imagine that they worked on these projects when they were supposed to, like right away, when people bought into it. A number of people would have started construction already. That would have meant that those would have been some millions of naira to pull down. Government would not have said, oh, because there's some few houses in Beachfront, they'll just leave that. No. A project really has to be huge for government to maybe even consider that, oh, maybe should we take that down? Maybe we should think about it twice, not few houses. They would have taken them down, and it would have been bad for the developer. It would have been bad for the investor if people had to lose their houses, so this delay has kind of worked to our advantage. I guess that's why they say that not every disappointment is a curse or a bad thing. Every disappointment is a blessing, they said. I don't agree that every disappointment is a blessing, but I'm thinking in this case it might be a blessing, or it might have been a blessing to some investors that would have started construction there, because we see that person in phase 1 now. We don't know what will happen, but we know that definitely, I'm almost certain that house will be taken down, because even though the mapping doesn't get to that house exactly, it would still, the setback will affect it. there will need to be setback. So the setback will affect it, and it will need to be taken down. Thankfully, it's just one construction, and I can't comment on that. I don't know what will happen, but I know the company I work with. I know the company who's my partner, Landmark. I know that they always find solutions to these things that benefits the investor, and as well doesn't make them run into too much losses. They will find a way around it, that I'm sure of. So what do we know? We know for certain that Landmark has lost some with this construction, coastal road construction. We know for certain that Landmark has lost some plots in all three estates. There is a big loss. They've lost some plots in all three estates. That land had, some part of it had excision, some part of it had gazette, at least for Beachfront Phase 2, that I'm sure of. Some parts had excision, some parts had gazette, and all three estates, they do have some kind of documentation. So with that, they just have to submit it to the government, and I really believe there might be some compensation for people who had proper documents for their property. There will definitely have to be some compensation. It might not be as fast, things with the government. It would still kind of be a loss, because even though they'll get compensation, things with the government sometimes don't work very fast. So it might take a while, but that I'm almost sure of, that they would get some form of compensation, those with the right documents, right? What I know also for sure, that this has some advantage, for us, the investors, for the property. This road is now even bigger than the road we thought we were looking forward to for the property. Now we have a property that is facing a major road, a coastal line road that goes all the way to Calabar. That seriously increases the value of the property. That seriously increases the value of the property. So to answer one of the major questions that you might be going through your mind, does this affect Landmark, or rather, does this affect investors? Investors who have bought into this estate. How does this loss, this plot that Landmark is losing, how does it affect investors? It doesn't. And it's not because I am part of the board. I'm not part of the board at Landmark. I don't know much. I'm not part of the decision makers in the company. But what I know for sure is that Landmark is a very big brand. Landmark Corporate Realty is a very big brand at this point. I have seen them easily move a client from this property to this property, and it's a matter of just a few emails away and what you want and all that. So I don't think it will be a problem. I also don't think that a brand like Landmark wouldn't have some kind of reserve, because you might be thinking that, oh, but those estates, they sold out. So now that they've lost some plots, this is going to definitely affect some clients, but I don't think so. I would like to think that Landmark, and they've not said anything to me, that I'm not quoting anybody, but I would like to think that based on experiences, past experiences, I would like to think that Landmark will have some kind of reserve, and that this will eat into their reserve, and not what investors have paid for. And let's even say they don't have any reserve. Landmark has, if there's something they have estates. They have good quality estates, lands that have good attractions. We have Lagoon Front, which is, although sold out now. We have, and an estate is it really ever really sold out? Like I said, they keep reserve, right? We have Lakeview that just came out. So if Landmark needs to move you, that, oh, they lost some land, they need to move you, they would easily do it. But this is not the time to start saying, oh, come and move me from this estate to this estate. We don't even know what's coming yet. I will feel that, and this is also another reason I'm doing this video, I will feel that we'll let this whole construction be done, maybe by the end of this year, next year. We'll see what happens, because government has to, because this thing has now affected these 3 estates, government has to kind of be done, at least as it concerns the area where these 3 estates are. And they've sandfilled almost to beachfront, very close to the beachfront now. They've gotten very close. In another 1 month now, they should have passed, with, if they keep up the pace they are using now, they should have passed beachfront phase 1. You get? So at least let the government be done with it before this estate can even say they want to. So what this also means now, fortunately, is that this project that has been delayed now will be further delayed. That's what it means. So for every one of you, if you wanted to build in this project, if you were eager to build, I would recommend that unfortunately you have to look somewhere else to build at the moment. This land is now something you should consider as part of your retirement, because before we get answers, like I said, government with the current, what has now happened, would have to give government some time to be done with that area. They cannot be working and then the developer is working. It's I don't think that's possible. And as one investor to the other, I would say, do not sell your land except you are in desperate need of cash. Do not sell your land except you have a lot of them. You know, I'm also an investor there. If you're not my client or you didn't know, I'm an investor there. So I'm not just commenting based on she just the talk. You know, I'm in all 3 estates. I'm in all 3 estates. That is because when I see a good thing, before I start selling it, or as I'm selling it, I will buy as much as I can afford. So I have in Beachfront, I have in Queen's Garden. So I know what I'm talking about. From one investor to the other, I will say, just don't rush to sell. That can really become a gold mine. That's our beachfront. It can become a gold mine, even if not a gold mine, but we are seeing things now that has added to the value that, you know, this property is in a very prime location now. Do you understand? So that's what I want to say. So what don't we know? We don't know yet if that, you know, like I said in the video, I said that now Landmark is going to have a few plots at the front and then have the major plots at the back. I don't even know if that's true. What if the government says, okay, we are taking this part already, okay, we'll just take from this place of the estate all the way to the former proposed coastal road? It's possible. So what Landmark has is just at the back, or they still have, they'll leave a few plots for them at the front. I don't see why they will need to, you know, take all that other expanse if they don't need it. You know, that we're not sure of yet, and I'm just speculating when I say that they have a few plots at the front. You know, what don't we know? We don't know when construction will start again in these 3 estates. We don't know. I don't know how many plots for certain that Landmark has lost in these 3 estates. I've heard some figures, but I don't know. I just can't comment on it. But that's why I showed you with the drone video, and I also showed you at close range, so that you can estimate for yourself how many plots of lands that will be. You know, the estates are not very wide, so it is more in length than in width, I believe. Anyways, I don't think the information about how many plots they lose is important to anyone. We just want to know, are we affected or are we not affected? And if we are affected, how are we affected? And I'll say part of the reason I'm doing this video is that you should have peace of mind. You know, you are not working with a brand that is just that. You are not working with a brand that is just coming up. They are well established. In fact, Beachfront is really the only estate that Landmark seem to have delayed in all the projects they have. Yes, some of you will say Lagoon Front. Lagoon Front has not actually gone according to the pace we want, but we will not compare it with Beachfront. Beachfront has just, you know, Lagoon Front, you see some kind of people are getting allocated. Most people are getting to their plot. You can access their plot. We don't have that in Beachfront. So Beachfront is really so you don't look at Beachfront and just write them off. These people have at least maybe 5 estates that people are living in already. So it's a well-established brand that you've worked with. One way or the other, you will be sorted out. I don't think there will be any reason to move anybody, but if they have to, I'm telling you, be rest assured, they will move you peacefully, and there'll be no problem. So I think I'm thinking if there's something I'm leaving out, but nothing is coming to me. So I think I've been able to answer all your questions. If you have more questions, you can ask below in the comments, and I will respond. But I think for now, I've been able to cover everything, and we'll just have to wait to see what the future holds for these 3 estates: Queen's Garden, Beachfront Phase 1 and Phase 2. But I'm still very, very proud of these properties that I sold, and it's unfortunate that there's been delay, but this delay, like I said, has worked for us now. So I'm not even going to be, I'm not even going to frown about the delay anymore. It has worked to our advantage. So I'm just going to say, be patient, continue to be patient. If you have not collected your documents, go collect your documents, your deed and survey. Without those documents, you don't have a land. So collect those ones and hold on to the land, and then you can start waiting. Do you understand? So know that everything regarding documents with Beachfront, Queen's Garden and all that, you've sorted it out. Then you are just waiting for, all these things to be sorted and for construction to start and for you to get access to your land. You understand? So if you're not invested in Beachfront Phase 2, Phase 1, Queen's Garden, and now you are wondering, with this project going on, you would have loved to have a plot or so in that area, reach out to me. I'll see what I can do. Do you understand? So that's it. This video has gotten longer than I intended, but this is a special video, so I feel like it is justified to keep it as detailed as possible. So until I come your way again, my name is Carol Oyele. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I remain one of your favorite creators. I remain that girl in this space, in this industry, in this our business, consultancy business, that will continue to stand by you, that will not run away when things get hard, that will continue to show our face and continue to, address those difficult subjects, and not just say, oh yeah, you can rant all you want on the internet. That's not me. Good or bad, your interest, I will always put it first, and I will always do my best for you. So if you're looking to invest in another property, if you're looking for another investment opportunity right now, my number's on your screen. Don't hesitate to call me. Let's discuss your real estate needs. I always keep it real with you, and I will make sure you are investing in the best property for you. Bye.